And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back to Fairfield High School as we get you ready for this Northeast Corner Conference semifinal between Fairfield and West Noble. Time now to look at our keys to win, brought to you by the aforementioned Jordan Auto Group on our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show. We'll start with the West Noble Chargers, and they are led both in terms of scoring and in terms of composure by Mackenzie Mabey, the 5'4" senior, averaging 14.5 points and 4 rebounds a game, but she's also a dynamic defensive player and leads the team in steals. She'll need some help tonight if they're going to pull off the upset, and Alexia Mass could be a big part of that. 5'2" junior is averaging 7 points a game, but her three-point shooting has really come on in the last couple of weeks, and she's also a distributor. She leads the team in assists. The keys to win for Jeff Burns and the Chargers.
Well, the keys to win tonight for West Noble, they need to limit turnovers. They're averaging 23 a game, but for the last few games, they've really knocked that number down. That's one of their big keys. Win the rebounding battle. They need to box out. They definitely do not have the height advantage. Fairfield has that, and they have to box out. And they need to keep composure. Yes, they're 3-14. Yes, it's a semifinal game, but they need to be composed and play within themselves. Jeff Burns in his 3rd season at West Noble.
We're continuing to improve. We kind of knew that we were young coming into it. We knew there was a building process as a part of it, and the kids have just continued to pick away at it little by little. Against Lakeland, we improved greatly, and then took strides in this past couple days against Westview. Put it all together in the first half, and hopefully we put it together again today in the first half at least.
Fairfield has tremendous balance, but there's no question who their lead dog is. It is Brea Garber. She is averaging 15 points a game, committed to Indiana Wesleyan, one of the top scorers all time here at Fairfield. But she also has 5 rebounds and leads them in steals and assists. She can do it all, but she doesn't have to because she's got plenty of help, including Morgan Gothrop. You know, a lot of times people run tricky defenses against Fairfield, and that has left Gothrop to raise her point production. She's over 9 points and 4.5 rebounds per game now, and taking the skills she's shown on the volleyball court and bringing them over to basketball as well. The keys to win for Brody Garber's Falcons.
Yeah, the keys to win tonight, they need to take care of that basketball. They need to make sure that they make great passes and they're efficient with them, and they cannot force shots. That's one of the things Brody talked about, is really making sure they get the great shot, not just the good shot, and defend as a team. They need to start playing better as a team defensively. Here's Coach Brody Garber in his 11th season at Fairfield.
Yeah, you just, I think it was, I forget who posted who's won the last several years. And if you look at the girls' side, we've won it once, and that was 1996. My wife was able to be a part of that back then. So we've gotten to the finals a lot, just haven't kind of pulled that off. So we're looking forward to that. And it's just tournament time. Right before we get to sectionals is great timing for us to play in a tournament like this.
Crowd starting to fill in here at the Falcons' Nest for this early tip-off, and the two coaches, Brody Garber and Jeff Burns, sharing some stories beforehand. They'll go at it head-to-head in a matter of minutes. This has been our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show with the Jordan Automotive keys to win. The tip-off is next on 46.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Britt, we gotta go.
Oh, well, see ya.
Hurry up! You've got 5 minutes. We're gonna be late. Hey, baby girl! Woo-hoo! Hi!
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Britt, we gotta go.
Oh, well, see ya.
Hurry up! You've got 5 minutes. We're gonna be late. Hey, baby girl! Woo-hoo!
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
And this edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. Excellence, integrity, and invested. They have just turned out the lights here inside the Falcons' nest as we get ready to give you the starting lineups. We had a wonderful trumpet rendition of the national anthem. One of the assistants for this Fairfield girls basketball team, Troy Sands, participating in that, but now the lineup's being introduced, and here's Bo Hunt.
First for the visiting team, the West Noble Chargers. Starting at guards, number 10, Alexia Mass, the 5'2 junior. The 5'4 senior, number 12, Mackenzie Maybe. And at the forwards tonight, number 24, Jalen Baker, the 5'6 junior. A 5'7 freshman, Kaylee Jordan, number 44. And number 50, Elena DeLong, the 5'11 junior. And now for the home team on the scoreboard, the home team here tonight, the Fairfield Falcons. Starting at forwards, number 3, Ava Herbert, the 5'9 freshman. Number 14, Morgan Garthrup, the 5'8 senior, averaging 9 a game. He'll be here in a lot at number 15 tonight. Brea Garber, the 6' senior, averaging 15 points and 5 rebounds a game. Number 24, Kaylee Dillon, the 5'6 junior. And number 32, Bailey Williard, the 5'5 senior. And Fairfield starting lineup sponsored by Millersburg Lumber.
If you look at the series history between these two teams, at least back to 2000, it's been relatively close. Fairfield leads at 18-12. Last year, Fairfield won at the end of the regular season by the count of 43-26. And our opening tip tonight, sponsored by Fairfield Athletics.
And before we get to that opening tip, here's a check on the uniforms for tonight's game, brought to you by St. Andrews Products. The Fairfield Falcons wearing the white jerseys and shorts, navy trim and navy numbers. The visiting team, the West Noble Chargers, wearing the blue jerseys and shorts, red trim with white numbers and white letters. These two teams look great, and so can your team. For the finest in apparel and promotional products, contact St. Andrews Products at sales@standrewscorp.com.
Opening tip to the 16-2 Fairfield Falcons, who have wins over Northridge and Northwood in their dossier. Their losses to Snyder and Columbia City. That's Brea Garber on the outside against a 1-2-2 zone being used by West Noble, but it's more of a matchup zone. You might see it have some man-to-man looks. You might see it drop into a 2-3. Bailey Willard with the ball right now. That's Ava Herbert, the freshman. She's starting for the injured Delana Geiger. Geiger nursing an ankle injury. Brea Garber hits the 3, and Fairfield is on the board. Garber, as we mentioned, averaging 15 points a game. Here come the West Noble Chargers, 3-14 on the year, but they beat Westview, avenging a 26-point loss the other night. The 3 attempt by Alexia Mast is off the mark, and here come the Falcons. Herbert had the ball nearly taken away from her, but gets it back to Garber. Willard for 3, ring it up. The Falcons come out sizzling, hitting a pair of 3-pointers. Willard last year was 37%, and she's even better this season.
Yeah, she's just one of those girls that comes in and gives a great spark from that 3-point range, and we saw that in the playoffs last year as well.
Now a turnover. Here comes Herbert stopping on the wing. Garber wide open for 3. That one too strong, and the rebound to Elena DeLong. Jeff Burns wants his team to change the pace a little bit here in the early going. Down 6-0, ball knocked out of bounds by Kaylee Dillon.
Casper's Coin and Jewelry supports Falcon Athletics. Casper's Coins and Jewelry buys and sells gold, silver, and coins. Check out Casper's Coins, Goshen.com.
It's the West Noble team that has struggled to get points on the board throughout much of the season. They're only averaging 34 points a game, and they're going up against a tremendous Fairfield defense tonight. We'll tell you about that in a moment. Mast outside, and that's Mackenzie Maybe. And look at Fairfield showing a bit of a double team to the diminutive Maybe. Mast at only 5'2", and a moving screen called on Elena DeLong.
Yeah, she kind of got her hip into Brea Garber. Moving screen on that. I really like what you talked about. Fairfield really extending that zone out and really pushing it out past the perimeter a little bit.
So here comes Ava Herbert, the freshman. And that's Morgan Gothrop over in the corner. Fairfield not shy about hoisting the three. Willard hits again. Bailey Willard only averages 9 a game. She's already got 6, and we've already got a timeout. Sponsored by the Ligonier Parks Department. 5:45 to go first quarter, and the Falcons come out on fire, leading 9-0 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. You take a look at that Fairfield team, and yes, they've started off with 3 3-pointers, but they also haven't given up a point in the first 2:15, and that's pretty common for them. They have one of the state's top 5 defenses, allowing less than 30 points a game.
Yeah, they definitely get after it, and I think that's one of this, you know, playing together as a team and just the cohesiveness of this team, the leadership that they have. And I really like how they have Brea out at the point with this zone and really sets the tempo out there with her size of being 6 foot out there in her range that she has.
Her dad, Brody Garber, in his 11th season on the bench for Fairfield, 168 and 89. He's a 1995 Fairfield grad. And in the Elkhart County Sports Hall of Fame, he won 11 letters in his athletic career here at Fairfield. 9-0 Falcons. Mass lost the handle out of bounds, and the nerves showing pretty early here for this West Noble team.
Yeah, you talk about Brody as a coach and everything, but just a true Fairfield guy. He's been here forever, you know, grew up here, coached baseball here for a while. I got a pleasure of coaching against him. I played against him a little bit in high school as well, so he's definitely been here, a figure in this community.
Garber, another 3. That one's short, and the rebound controlled by West Noble. It came down to Kaylee Jordan. Maybe off to the side here, working against this zone defense, and there's Garber up top again, causing havoc. Out of bounds to West Noble.
Support for the Lady Chargers comes from Angie Gibson, your Edward Jones financial advisor at 902 Lincoln Way South in Ligonier, Indiana. For more information, visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
They finally get the inbound pass to Maybe. Mast had an opening for a moment. Penetrates, the runner is short, and the rebound saved to Fairfield. Falcons on the run. Dillon gets it back outside. Willard, topside triple. Not that time, but Garber gets the rebound up and in. The first 2-point attempt by Fairfield tonight is connected. And the Falcons extend the lead to 11-0. And you may see liberal use of the bench tonight by Brody Garber, because Fairfield has to turn right around and play for a championship tomorrow night should they win this one. We mentioned West Noble's offensive struggles, but they were on fire on Wednesday night against Westview. Right now, they just can't get to the basket. Garber tried to work one-on-one, shut off nicely by Jalen Baker. Lob pass, though, to Garber, and she'll go up, missed the first time, and is fouled the second time by Kaylee Jordan. She'll go to the line for free throws, sponsored by EB Ford, as you get another look.
Here you see a look at the replay right here. Just a great in pass down to her. First time she got a little body into her, might have had some contact there. Second time definitely got a lot of contact.
Garber committed to Indiana Wesleyan. She loved the fit there. And she already has 6 points tonight, as Fairfield will go to the bench and bring in Jaislyn Hall, a 5'7" junior, wearing that big knee brace after she's had some knee problems. And boy, did they get dressed up fancy for the 46 game of the week tonight here at Fairfield. Garber knocks them both down. She'll check out as Natalie Whitaker, a 5'4" junior, comes off the bench. She's a transfer from Constantine, and full court pressure by the Falcons, up 13-0. Mast with the catch in the front court, but Willard made a kick save and a beauty.
Yeah, that was definitely a save that she had right there. I mean, any way to knock that ball down when you're the last defender there on a fast break.
West Noble looking for its first points of the night, but the inbound pass finally collected by DeLong. Now Maybe for 3. Yes, sir. Mackenzie Maybe knocks down her 32nd three-pointer of the year to get West Noble on the board.
Yeah, it's the first time West Noble was able to really move the ball that time on the offensive in the half court. I think that's one of the big things. They really need to start moving the ball a little bit more.
It's a young West Noble team. They only have the one senior in Maybe, and I think at times, like tonight, it shows. Meanwhile, Herbert gets the ball inside, and the freshman tallies her first basket of the night. Ava Herbert at 5'9", maybe one of the heir apparents in this Fairfield offense as they force another turnover. Here comes Whitaker all the way with the left-hand layup. That was pretty. And another timeout by Jeff Burns. We'll take it as well. It's sponsored by the Ligonier Parks Department. 3:04 to go, first quarter. Fairfield asserting control, up 17-3 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. You look at the best teams in the area, two of them could be meeting for the NECC title tomorrow night. If Central Noble takes care of business tonight, it would be Central Noble and Fairfield, and oh my, that would be a good one.
Yeah, that'd definitely be a great game tomorrow night. And it'd be a great test for both the teams as well, getting ready to get into sectionals here in a few weeks. It's a good atmosphere to be in.
And another turnover for West Noble, not quite, as they recover. Baker with good hustle that time. Mast over to DeLong. Baker back to DeLong. Mast covered up quickly, but she got inside, couldn't hit the floater. DeLong collects the loose change. Maybe tries to penetrate, and a reach-in foul called against Fairfield. I think it might be on Herbert. You'll meet Mackenzie maybe at halftime, one of our Tony Letcher Health Market student athletes.
OA Construction Services is a proud supporter of high school athletics. OA Construction Services, when you want commercial renovations done right.
It's not a very deep bench for West Noble, but they'll go to it here as Chloe Sprague replaces Kaylee Jordan. Sprague, a 5'2" junior. Meanwhile, Garber and Dillon check back in for the Falcons. Mast gets a screen from DeLong, and the pass knocked right back to her from Dillon. Maybe we'll try to set things up for this West Noble team, and you can see that everybody kind of takes a sigh of relief when she gets the ball. Mast trapped in the corner and had it taken right away from her by Brea Garber. Now Garber triple teamed in the corner and a foul called against West Noble. It looks like it's going to be on Mast, and that's her first. This is a Fairfield team, ranked 7th. They moved up from 2A to 3A this year because of enrollment. Brody Garber said he really anticipated that happening 2 or 3 years ago with the growth that's been here in this part of Goshen.
Yeah, and some of the other sports, they've been 3A in baseball and softball as well, but boys sports, basketball. But with the girls' side, they definitely were close to moving up the last few years.
Whitaker misfires on the 3, and good hustle by DeLong to chase down the rebound. She's been a very good rebounder for this West Noble team this year, with 8 of them averaging 8 of them per game. Fairfield up by 14. Final 90 seconds of period number 1, and there's another turnover for the Chargers. Dillon takes it in strong off the feed from Garber. Kaylee Dillon, the 5'6" junior, with her first basket of the night. She averages 8 points a game. Mast couldn't make the catch on the pass down the court, and Fairfield has numbers coming the other way. Garber underneath, misses on the layup, and fouled on the way back up by Elena DeLong, and that's her second.
Fairfield free throw sponsored by E.B. Ford.
Good unselfishness that time by Dillon as she found the open teammate underneath. Garber couldn't connect, though. Brea, 73% foul shooter, knocks down the first.
Fairfield Athletic Department is incredibly proud of all their student athletes who compete in the classroom and in their sport. We'd also like to thank all the managers, coaches, and event workers. Their support is what makes the Falcon fly.
Chloe Ulrey, a 5'7" freshman, checks into the lineup for West Noble as Garber knocks down both free throws. That is another thing this Fairfield team does very well. They shoot 73% from the foul line this season.
Yeah, that's one of the things that gonna have you win a lot of ball games is shooting that 73. Anything over 70% is where you want to be, and they just do a great job of it.
Fairfield with Dillon on the outside. Gets it over to Whitaker, who couldn't hit, but Garber another offensive rebound. Garber kicks it back outside. Good ball movement here. This is very reminiscent of a drill Brody Garber put his team through yesterday, trying to make the extra pass to get an open look. And finally, Brea Garber takes it outside as Fairfield looks to hold for the last shot. See the clock, right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. An impressive first quarter by Fairfield. Whitaker couldn't hit there, and a push-off foul is called against Jaislyn Hall. So Hall, guilty of the infraction. That's her first, the second on the Falcons. West Noble with a chance to perhaps hoist the last shot. Maybe whips it, but couldn't get enough lift on it. And the first quarter comes to an end. A first quarter dominated by Fairfield, particularly beyond the arc. Brea Garber got it started, and then Bailey Willard offered a pair of triples, and it's 21-3 Fairfield after one on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life, and a way of life for us. A Bills Heating Courtside report from Craig Heatherly. Your thoughts on what you saw from Fairfield in quarter number one?
Yeah, Chuck, you mentioned it earlier. The most impressive part of that quarter was Fairfield's defensive pressure. They're disruptive. They're out in passing lanes. They're active. One thing as a coach you would tell your players, get your hands out of your pockets. Be active, create disruption, and they're turning deflections into easy baskets and opportunities on the other end in transition.
8 turnovers by West Noble in the first.
Yeah, and a lot of them were because of Fairfield's defense. I mean, just flat out, they were just a lot more physical, a lot more active, and really getting in the passing lanes.
In theory, similar to what we see when we do South Bend Washington games, filling the passing lanes, the length and the wingspan of players. Washington can do it a little bit more with quickness. They have more quickness than this Fairfield team. But when you put Garber and Herbert at the top of this defense, that makes it tough to get the ball down low.
I think the difference between this team and last year is Herbert, the freshman. I mean, just her size and her ability to play at the top of the point up there with Brea has just really helped this team, I think. And being able to get other girls in and getting more of a mix off the bench is really going to help this team go far.
Chloe Sprague back in the game, taking the place of Chloe Ulrey. Sprague, a 5'2" junior. You might think, well, 5'2", she's a natural guard, but they've had to make her into a guard. She played post all through middle school. In fact, her nickname on the team is LP, Little Post. Mast over on the side to maybe. DeLong tried to find a cutter, but Garber is there with those long arms to knock it away, and Brea Garber takes it the distance and will go to the line for 2 as Alexia Mast is called for her second foul. You get another look on the 46 replay. Brea Garber, IBCA junior small school all-state selection last year at the 2A level. She's going to get some recognition at the 3A level this year as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things right there, though, she needs to really work on finishing that right there. She needs to be able to get that bucket to go down and get the bucket and one in that situation. The Ligonier Parks Department offers something for everyone in the family, with a rec center offering a wide variety of youth programs, weight rooms, and fitness classes. Stop by 520 Union Street in Ligonier to find out more.
Garber now a perfect 6 for 6 at the line tonight. So you're a young lady watching this game, that's a good role model to have. Here's Mast from the corner, couldn't hit that one. The rebound chased down by Sprague and knocked out of bounds by Fairfield. West Noble retains possession.
Your home is a castle, but with fiber internet and phone provided by Ligtel Communications, it transforms into a command center for your life. Find out more at ligtel.com. Ligtel, connecting you.
And you can see for yourself the difference at home. However, this stat showing out early in the game, West Noble has only had 5 shot attempts. Fairfield's had 15. And that's one of the big reasons behind the 20-point difference right now. And the ball batted away and another turnover, the 10th of the night for the Chargers. Here's Kaylee Dillon going in strong for 2. Dillon, the 5'6" junior, now has 4. And Fairfield continuing with the press. Maybe, though, dribbles right through it, went hard to the basket, couldn't score. And the rebound controlled by Fairfield.
Yeah, just a nice job really getting the ball up the floor and really trying to push it and do something a little different.
Willard is hot.
Wow, third three-pointer from Bailey Willard.
Bailey Willard coming off a season-high 19 against Lakeland on Tuesday night. And she's got it dialed in from outside the arc. And another turnover as Whitaker makes the steal. Working on maybe. Whitaker with the bucket and the bump.
Wow. Natalie Whitaker, what a great move she had behind the back, taking it to the hoop, taking the body control that she had on that, and being able to knock that bucket down. That's just a great job.
Both teams going to the bench. Jalen Baker checking back in for West Noble. Whitaker going to the foul line. Natalie, a 70% free throw shooter. She's a transfer from Constantine. Brody Garber says she wasn't sure if she would be good enough. Well, she's certainly been good enough to make the varsity despite that miss right there. The one thing they've had to work on is a little bit of defense, but she's played quite a bit of it here tonight. Falcons on a 17-0 run here. And the ball off the foot of Mast and controlled by Willard. Fairfield with a dominant performance here in this NECC semifinal. Willard up for 3 again. That one's short, and the rebound controlled by Mast.
Fairfield again pressuring that ball, getting it, knocking out of bounds. West Noble will retain possession, but again, that quickness with Fairfield.
Jaslyn Hall back in. Whitaker goes out. Baker finds Mast on the inbound. And now maybe we'll try to set things up offensively. West Noble just gonna have to try to chisel away at this. They go to Baker. She got it inside, but it kicks right back out from Taylor.
A lot better movement with the basketball this set, though.
So let's show you our TCU trivia question tonight. We've mentioned Brody Garber and Brea Garber, and their mom, Amy, also an assistant coach. So I shouldn't say their mom, Brody's wife, Brea's mom. So we want to know which member of the family had the most points in their prep career. And we'll answer that in a little bit. Ball goes out of bounds off West Noble as Mast got in the passing lane that time.
The West Noble Athletic Department is proud of the student athletes and coaches that represent their school and community. Keep up the great work, and of course, as always, go Chargers.
We saw Mom Amy there on the bench a moment ago as a foul is called against West Noble. It's going to be on Kaylee Jordan, her second, and it sends Jaslyn Hall to the foul line where she's only a 35% free throw shooter. You see that big knee brace on the left leg of Jaslyn Hall. She injured it last year, missed the last part of the season, so we didn't see her in the semi-state against Frankton. And then earlier this year in a game against Wawasee, she went knee to knee with somebody, and Brody Garber thought it could be the ACL, but instead it was just badly bruised. And now she wears the brace on it, says it gives her a lot more stability, and even though it looks big and bulky out there, she feels much more comfortable running around on the floor.
There's probably a lot of confidence in that as well.
Absolutely. Maybe to Mast outside. And Mast handling things right now. Now she gets it down to Maybe for three. A little too strong that time, and the rebound controlled by Morgan Gothrop. Here comes Herbert back outside for Hall. Good ball movement by the Falcons, and it relates to a three-point attempt by Dillon that couldn't be controlled, but then Dillon threw it into the backcourt, and a rare turnover for Fairfield as we answer the TCU trivia question. Of the Garbers, which one has the most points? Is it Brody? Is it Brea? No, it's Mom there on the right. Looking back down the bench, sitting next to Whitaker. Amy, maiden name Bechtel, over 1,500 points in her Fairfield career, still the Falcons' all-time girls score. And I don't think Brea is going to catch her.
No, she's got a little ways to go to catch that.
Yeah. She has passed Dad.
Yep.
Meanwhile, DeLong inside had it blocked by Willard. Here comes Fairfield the other way, up 30-3. Willard, why not? A little too strong that time. Good hustle on the rebound effort here. It's off Herbert, and West Noble will get it back.
E.B. Ford in Goshen is proud to support the Falcons athletics. E.B. Ford has been serving the community for over 100 years. When you're ready to buy or sell, visit ebford.com. It's easy. That's E.B.
Timeout sponsored by the Ligonier Parks Department. 3:13 to go first half. Fairfield in ahead 30-3 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by HealthLink, your community health center. Reminder, primetime coverage on TV-46 returns. Live stream Tuesday night. We'll show it Wednesday night at 9, Thursday at 2. The number 2 team on the boys' side, Class 3A, Aaron Wolf's Northwood Panthers, venturing into South Bend to take on Chase Conestney and the St. Joe Indians. We'll have it for you on your home for high school sports, TV-46. Very anxious to see Northwood for the first time this year.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting game. St. Joe's got Glenn tonight, so we'll see how they fare with them and get prepared for that Northwood. But definitely anxious to see that Northwood game next Tuesday night.
St. Joe has played a rugged schedule, and of course Northwood played in that Hall of Fame tournament down in Newcastle. Actually led 4A number 1 Ben Davis at halftime. It's not unusual for the Giants to be a little sluggish in the first half. They tend to wake up in the second half. Here's a turnover by West Noble, but the layup missed by Gothrop. And West Noble gets the carom.
Millersburg Lumber congratulates the Falcons on an amazing season so far. Keep up the great work. Millersburg Lumber has been in business for over 100 years and is a complete building supply center with exceptional customer service.
Fairfield with another deflection. My goodness, have they been all over the passing lanes here in the first half. West Noble with just 8 shots in the first 13+ minutes here tonight. Baker to Mast. Nice ball fake on Garber, but Garber came from behind and blocked the shot.
A little bit of a size advantage there between the two, just about 8, 10 inches.
10 inches, yeah. You got 6 foot working against 5'2". That ain't fair. Speaking for the short people in the room, here's Maybe. I felt like a towering pillar of height tonight during the student athlete interview. It's about the first time all season I've been taller than the 2 subjects, as they call a foul on Jaislyn Hall, and that's her second.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies brand is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. IFT is a proud supporter of all student athletes.
Maybe. Nice bounce pass inside. They work it around to Baker from the wing for 2. So Jalen Baker, a 5'6" junior who averages 3 points a game, gets her first bucket of the night. She's a 3-sport athlete at West Noble, member of the soccer team and an outstanding hurdler as well. Three at the other end by Whitaker is off the mark, but the rebound to Garber, and she goes inside for two. And Fairfield doing quite the job on the boards as well. Garber leading the way with 13 points tonight. Baker, well, she thought about hoisting the three. That's not necessarily her strong suit. DeLong tried to see if the bank was open. It is not. And the rebound controlled by the Falcons. They're out rebounding West Noble 14-8. And we've got a moving screen called on Fairfield against Whitaker.
Yeah, it looked like Whitaker was getting just a little bit too physical on the inside on that one. Hey, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because Rushcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment. Excellent benefits include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Rushcore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Savannah Cronin in the game for the first time for Fairfield. She wears number 11. She's trying to defend there against Mast, and Mast with the scoop layup gets her first basket of the night. Alexia averaging almost 7 points a game. 32-7, Fairfield on top, under a minute to go, first half. Falcons moving the ball around. That's Ava Herbert, but it's stolen away by Mast. Fourth turnover for the Falcons. And we've got a carry violation against West Noble. Their 15th turnover.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed with Fairfield a little bit, they try to make that cross-court pass just a little too often. I was waiting for West Noble to kind of catch on, and right there they were able to that last time down.
Macy Worthman, a 5'7" freshman in the game now for Fairfield. She wears number 25. See if the Falcons hold for the final shot of the first half. Some of their younger players out there now getting some time with the veterans on the bench. Herbert, a freshman, but she's played a lot of travel ball. Kaylee Dillon in control as the Fairfield fans applauding the first half effort of their team. They'd love to see it capped with a bucket here. Dillon drove in and drew the contact for maybe her second.
Here to protect and serve our community, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
Kaylee Dillon is a 71% free throw shooter. Got her. Good defender on this team. Had 15 points in their win over Eastside. Has 4 tonight. Make it 5. What a first half for the Fairfield Falcons as Mast will try to get off a half-court heave. Actually, it's a topside triple, and it's a bank in by Chloe Ulrich. Her first three-pointer of her career is banked in from outside the arc. And we'll get another look at it on the 46 replay as we go to break. I think she might have actually been inside. Nope, she was outside the line, and the bank was open in Goshen on a Friday night. So 33-10 Fairfield at the half. When we come back, we'll have our student athletes. But first, let's go to Craig Heatherly.
Yeah, Coach, great first half. You held them to 10 points. You guys are out and passing the lanes. You're disruptive. What'd you see there defensively?
Well, we think we can get in the passing lanes, like you said, get a lot of hands-on balls, even if they're not steals, some deflections that maybe kind of go our way, and it helps when you shoot the ball like that too, like we did there.
Yeah, you're definitely turning those opportunities into transition baskets. What about you're up 33-10? What's the message to the team to keep them focused in the second half to continue to just improve?
Yeah, just we got to play hard and focus. Maybe we got some bench players that need to step up, give us some good minutes here to hopefully get us ready for tomorrow night.
Coach, good luck in the second half. Back to you, Chuck.
All right, Craig, stick around, everybody. Our halftime highlights and stats, plus our student athletes of the week. Fairfield with a dominating first half performance, leading West Noble 33-10 as we go to the break on 46. Halftime here inside the Falcons Nest. Time for our Student Athletes of the Week, and it's brought to us by our friend Tony Letcher with Health Markets. You're going to be blown away by these two young ladies that I have the chance to interview tonight. We have Mackenzie Mabey of West Noble, Delana Geiger of Fairfield. We always start with the visitors first. Mackenzie, an outstanding golfer as well as the leading scorer on this West Noble basketball team, and getting the job done in the classroom as well. That's a lot to balance. How do you figure out your time management?
A lot of the time I start off with basically my schoolwork and everything, but I have a indoor facility at my house, so a basketball hoop and a simulator, and I just spend as much time as possible in that facility and trying to basically work on both sports at the same time.
I would too. I want to come over and check all that out. You've got to adapt your role on this team this year. You are a senior surrounded by a lot of younger players that might not have your experience. How have you adapted to that?
Well, a lot of the time last year I was still technically a leader because it was a point guard role, but everybody was older than me. So now I think with the younger classes, it's a lot easier for them to listen to me, and they kind of respect me more because they realize, oh, she's a lot older than me and everything, so they know that I have a bit more experience.
You don't sound like you're a young lady who's afraid of putting work in. Somebody obviously instilled those values in you. Who did it?
A lot of it is my dad and my mom. And my brother, Ethan, is the head basketball coach for the boys team that will be playing later tonight. And so they've just really pushed me, basically my whole family.
That's terrific. Now, I know when you go to school at Indiana Tech, you're considering playing both sports because you've been approached by both coaches, but you're also considering industrial engineering. What made you choose that?
So my dad is big on basically hands-on activities and the automation of things and all of that, and industrial engineering just involves the hands a lot more, and I've just always been drawn more to math than any other subject, and I always really enjoyed it. So I thought that would be the best way for me to pursue all of those things.
So wonderful to meet you. Best of luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
That's Mackenzie Mabey of West Noble High School. On this side, we have Delana Geiger of Fairfield, 4.0 student, and that's on a 4.0 scale, by the way. It's not a 12. Well, cross country and basketball. Unfortunately, Delana a little bit banged up tonight, so she can't play, but it's a rare night where you sit because you're on the go so much. How do you figure out how to balance everything?
I don't know. My parents have always instilled a bunch of activities. We've always been involved in a lot of things, and it's just how we roll, and we're always busy, and it's fun, and I just love it.
What is your role on this team? Because obviously a lot of attention is paid to players like Brea Garber, but you came on this team, came on the scene last year after an injury and really made your own role.
Yeah, my role is a lot different from a lot of the girls on the team, which is totally fine. We wouldn't be as successful if we were all the same role. Definitely just getting my teammates open and making them successful is my biggest role, getting the rebounds and getting it out of there, and then we can pull out the win, and yeah.
You mentioned your parents instilling these values in you. I also want to ask about what you do off the floor, because I know you're class vice president, you're in National Honor Society. I think you're very active in your youth group as well. What appeals to you about those kinds of activity?
I mean, it kind of gets my mind away from the sports world, which is nice sometimes. I love the sports world, but it's nice to be with other different types of people, different personalities, just to get myself in a different way, preparing myself for college and for what's to come with different types of people with different personalities and interests.
Wow, and as you go to college, I'm blown away by your majors. Economics and or political science. Not something most high school students are just sitting around thinking about. What is it that interests you about those?
I mean, it's not fully decided, but that's definitely what I'm looking into. My heart is definitely for cultural diversity and for traveling and just being around different types of people that I'm not normally around, and that's definitely what this major has to offer for me. It can go into a wide variety of different jobs that have just pulled on my heart, and I have absolutely loved it. Both Taylor and Liberty, which is what I'm considering, are offering this major, and so it just feels like a perfect fit.
I'm glad I got to meet you while you're still around here, because I get the feeling you're going to be all over the globe as an adult. Best of luck to you in the future. That is Delana Geiger of Fairfield High School, Mackenzie Mabey of West Noble. They are our Tony Letcher Health Market Student Athletes of the Week. We've got halftime highlights and stats when the 46 game of the week rolls on from Fairfield. 33-10, Fairfield on top here at halftime as Chuck and Bo welcome you inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Boy, speaking of being welcomed, I don't know if we've ever seen hospitality like we're getting here at Fairfield. We got this. Bo's got a little bag. We got a nice basket of goodies. I mean, this is great. The one team they haven't been hospitable towards is West Noble. They've been taking anything they want from the Chargers.
Yeah, I think the defense tonight has really stood out. And, you know, getting hot early, hitting those three-pointers right off the bat didn't help West Noble's chances either. But just the way Fairfield's played defense has been phenomenal tonight.
Let's show you how it got to be this way inside the Falcons' nest tonight. Fairfield came out sniping from the outside. Brea Garber with 3 of her 13 in the first half. And then Bailey Willard really started getting it done outside the arc as she buried back-to-back threes, and Fairfield had a 9-point lead. West Noble would finally get on the board with a 3 of their own from Mackenzie Maybe, but those kind of shots were few and far between. Defense really got it done. Here's Natalie Whitaker with the steal and the layup with the left hand. And then a little bit later on, Willard dials up her 3rd 3 of the first half. She had 9 points in the half. West Noble would start getting some offense going late in the half. Jalen Baker with a bucket. Chloe Ulrey with her first career 3-pointer. As we look at the first half numbers, the disparities are alarming.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when you look at the rebounding advantage, 14-8, the turnovers, 15-4. Field goal percentage, 50-33. You know, I think the biggest thing is West Noble needs to be able to move the ball, and I don't know if they can. I don't know even if they're able to try to focus on moving it more, if they even can against this defense.
We talked about the length that Fairfield has. Somehow you have to get ball reversals. You have to get that ball moving around the perimeter, but Fairfield has stopped that pretty early in some possessions. We'll see if the Chargers can make a run here in the second half, or if Fairfield can punch its ticket into the NECC championship game. Falcons lead at 33-10 at the intermission. Our halftime report concludes. Third quarter play-by-play from Goshen comes your way next after this. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by TCU. Discover better banking at TCU. Let's get a courtside report. Craig Heatherly getting a quick word with Jeff Burns, the West Noble head coach, as to what kind of changes he could make. Gives us a chance to squeeze in a thank you to one of our advertisers.
This health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. Everyone knows you can't play or learn if you don't feel your best. If your child isn't feeling well, schedule a sick visit at HealthLink. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more, regardless of your ability to pay.
All right, Mr. Heatherly and Mr. Burns have concluded their conversation. We go over to Craig for a Bills Heating courtside report. What did you have to say?
Yeah, composure is the most important thing right now for him and his team on both sides of the basketball. Wants them to stick to the game plan. And then offensively, he wants to get the ball in the right individual's hands. He wants leading scorers to step up and be a little bit more aggressive, give them better opportunities to score. But it's all about composure here, Chuck, in the second half.
Tough to do against a veteran group like this Fairfield squad that has played well all season long. Our third quarter brought to us by LigTel Communications as Brea Garber misses the first time but hits the second. She's just trying to pad those rebound stats.
Hey, now you figured it out. Just a better job, though, right there of going up strong the second time.
25-point lead for Fairfield as Mast got it inside to Kaylee Jordan and back outside to Maybe. Oh, Maybe got it into DeLong, but she couldn't hit the bucket inside.
Great job of really getting that ball into the post. We talked about getting that ball movement, moving it down into that post a little bit more.
Garber thought about hoisting the 3, but Willard is wide open, and that's a mistake. You cannot let that happen. That'll be on the Central Noble scouting report tomorrow, I'm sure.
Fourth three-pointer of the night for Willard.
That's like giving her cookies outside there, man. You leave her open like that. Here comes Maybe down the lane, but she lost the handle, knocked away by Fairfield, so West Noble retains possession.
Casper's Coin and Jewelry supports Falcon Athletics. Casper's Coin and Jewelry buys and sells gold, silver, and coins. Check out Casper's Coins, Goshen.com.
Kick there by Kaylee Dillon, and West Noble retains possession again. Baker needs some help. Maybe from the volleyball line, a little bit short, and the rebound controlled by Herbert.
It's about the only open shots they have with the way Fairfield's extending that defense out there.
Willard on fire. 5 3-pointers for Bailey Willard. It's a 41-10 lead for Fairfield. Garber forces Maybe to give it up. Mass tried to drive the baseline. Willard thwarted her. Battle on the held ball will go to West Noble.
Support for the Lady Chargers comes from Angie Gibson, your Edward Jones financial advisor at 902 Lincoln Way South, Ligonier, Indiana. For more information, visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Garber with the block on DeLong as you saw the replay of the Willard three and how far she was beyond the arc. And they're going to keep feeding the beast. Oh, she's human. Willard controls the loose ball, and they go down low to Gothrop for two. Her first basket.
Great ball movement. Way to get it down to Gothrop down low. 6th Lady Falcon in the scoring column tonight.
And now Fairfield and West Noble flirting with running clock territory as Baker misses the outside shot.
OA Construction Services is a proud supporter of high school athletics. OA Construction Services, when you want commercial renovations done right.
"35 points is the mark you have to be at to get the running clock going. And I think Brody Garber anticipates that happening as he starts sending some of his younger players down to the scorer's table. Falcons will move the ball around. Willard, now they double team her. Gothrop open for three. That's off, but the rebound controlled by Herbert. She misses, and we've got a foul underneath that'll be called on Maybe.
The Fairfield Athletic Department is incredibly proud of all their student athletes who compete in the classroom in their sport. Also, a thank you to all the managers and coaches, and especially those event workers. Their support is what make the Falcons fly.
Natalie Whitaker and Jaislyn Hall check in. Garber and Dillon check out. They could be done for the night. We'll see. Gothrop for three. Ring it up. And it is now a 36-point lead. And that will get the clock going. And keep it there. Maybe handles it up top. Tries to penetrate. Willard able to tie her up. It's a held ball. Alternating possession will go to Fairfield.
The Ligonier Parks Department offers something for everyone in the family with a rec center offering a wide variety of youth programs, weight room, and fitness classes. Stop by 520 Union Street in Ligonier to find out more.
Want to hear a lot of Bo in the last 12 minutes here. Steal by West Noble. A rare turnover for Fairfield. Baker throws it outside, and we've got a reach-in foul called against Jaislyn Hall. That'll be her third.
Yeah, Jaislyn just getting back into things a little bit. When that happens, you start to pick up fouls because you're not in that basketball mode as much.
Brody Garber sending the freshman Macy Worthman into the game. Baker looks to trigger the inbound, can't find anybody open. Finally got it to DeLong. And Elena DeLong throws it, but it was deflected into the backcourt, so West Noble retains possession.
Your home is your castle, but with fiber internet and phone provided by Ligtel Communications, it transforms into a command center for your life. Find out more at ligtel.com. Ligtel, connecting you.
Maybe couldn't get that layup to go. Now Paige Taylor, a 5'7" sophomore. checks into the game for West Noble. Taylor, a member of the Chargers volleyball team as well.
The West Noble Athletic Department is proud of the student athletes and coaches that represent our school and community. Keep up the great work, and of course, as always, go Chargers.
Ball knocked away by this Fairfield defense. Remember, West Noble had to bank in a 3 at the end of the first half to get to double digits for the half. And they have yet to score a point here in the third quarter. And another kick against Gothrop.
Again, just that ball movement. Got to be able to use two hands. Got to see it. Can't just pass it with that one hand.
Falcons looking to go to 17-2 as Maybe splits the defense for 2. McKenzie with 5 tonight. Here's Ava Herbert, the freshman, in the corner to Gothrop. Whitaker with a nice catch down low for 2. Natalie Whitaker with 6. That's about what she averages.
Yeah, just a great job of coming off the bench and putting in some buckets here and there for Natalie.
Maybe a hoist a 3, and it rolls out on her. Good rebound that time by Taylor, and she draws the foul from Whitaker, her 3rd.
West Noble's going to go to the line. West Noble free throw sponsored by West Noble Athletic Department.
Paige Taylor has not been to the free throw line this season. She has played in 13 of their games this season. Young lady with a very strong faith. Misses the first.
E.B. Ford in Goshen is a proud supporter of the Falcons athletics. E.B. Ford has been serving the community for over 100 years. When you're ready to buy or sell, visit ebford.com. It's easy. That's EB.
As I'm sure you've noticed, the clock does stop on free throw attempts. Taylor rattles the second one home, so she's in the scorebook. That's always good to see. 48-13 in favor of Fairfield. Even if that score dips below 35, the clock will continue to run. Garber to Gothrop in the corner for 3. That's off the mark. And oh, what a tackle that time by Chloe Sprague of West Noble. She just reaches out and yanks down on the arm of Kaylee Dillon. You'll see it here on the 46 replay, maybe.
Yeah, see, it's like, hey, you ain't getting that ball.
Garber on the inbound. Couldn't hit it. And the rebound knocked away by Fairfield will be West Noble ball.
Millersburg Lumber congratulates the Falcons on an amazing season so far. Keep up the great work. Millersburg Lumber has been in business for over 100 years and is a complete building supply center with exceptional customer service.
Final minute of period number 3 in this Northeast Corner Conference Tournament semifinal. These two teams in the same sectional. I was teasing Jeff Burns. Fairfield and West Noble could play 3 times in a matter of 3 weeks. Tonight, then you've got the regular season game at the end of January, and they're in the same sectional. Jeff says, well, it's tough to beat a team once. It's really tough to do it twice. And it's almost impossible to do it 3 times. I said, so you throw in the first 2 so that if you get them in the sectional, you can do it? He says, I wish it were that easy. Massed underneath. Taylor had it blocked by Garber. Here comes Brea and the Falcons. Dillon in the corner for 3. That's short. The rebound saved by Gothrop. And it's knocked out of bounds by West Noble, but the clock will continue to run. And that will do it for the third quarter of play from Fairfield High School. As the Falcons get more three-point shooting from Bailey Willard. Look how far behind the arc she is. But it doesn't matter to the sniper. She's got 15 tonight, and the Falcons are in control on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the Electrical Workers of Local 153. They're making our communities brighter since 1914. Craig Heatherly makes our community brighter with a sideline report. And Craig, we talked before the game about what a veteran unit this Fairfield team is. It has really shown tonight. You can see how well they play as a team.
You're exactly right. You know, when the pressure goes up in a game, the most ingrained behavior comes out. So even despite, you know, the point differential, this Fairfield team, they are competing on the defensive end. From the moment that ball was jumped and the tip went off, they have not stopped with this relentless defense. It's creating great opportunities for them offensively. But this is also a great opportunity for West Noble to identify, you know, some things in which they can continue to work on and practice and apply this to learning opportunities, improve their season, have a chance at the end here to make some noise.
And their season isn't over. They only won 5 games during the regular season last year, wound up winning a section.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest things with Indiana tournament schedule is any of the sports, it doesn't matter what your record is in the regular season, everyone makes the tournament.
Maybe couldn't get the 3 to go, and the rebound comes down to Willard.
As we get this fourth quarter underway, the Ligtail Communications is our third and fourth quarter sponsor.
I know IFT is always looking for a great finish. Not sure they're going to get one here tonight.
Well, hey, talking about IFT, Imaginary Finishing Technologies, the brand is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. IFT is a proud supporter of all student athletes.
Herbert misfired on a 3, but got her own rebound back. Garber, a deep 3, sure. Brea now with 18 tonight. She had 19 Tuesday night in the game against Prairie Heights, and the Falcons lead it by 38. Maybe we'll walk it across the timeline to Mast. Fairfield continuing in this 1-3-1 zone. Wing jumper that time by Paige Taylor wouldn't go. Out of bounds. West Noble retains it. Chargers will, as we mentioned, face Fairfield again on January 27th. The sectional also has Northwood and Lakeland, who are 2 teams that are above 500. And I noticed a couple of Northwood girls players here tonight, perhaps scouting things out.
Well, yeah, it's just get out here and see what your competition's all about, because, you know, even though Fairfield might be the favorite in that, it's wide open.
Reminder that girls tournament draw is January 22nd. It'll be carried online at ihsatv.org. Same place where a lot of you might be watching this live stream tonight. Turnover by West Noble. Fairfield has it. They go ahead to Kaylee Dillon. Couldn't get that one to go, but underneath the foul is called. We'll take a quick timeout with 5:51 to go. Fairfield on top, 51-13 on 46.
Watching the WHME TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by
Jaislyn Hall missed the first of 2 at the foul line. We took the break while we could because the clock stopped with 5:40 left.
Hey, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because Reshcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Reshcore family and their $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit reshcore.com, RESCHCOR.com.
Hall gets on the board with a free throw, her first point of the night. Maybe again from outside, connects McKenzie with her second 3 of the night, and she leads the Chargers with 8. Came in averaging 14 points a game, 3-sport athlete. Headed to Indiana Tech. Boy, those 2 halftime interviews were impressive young ladies.
The IQ on those ladies was just phenomenal, and what they're going to do in their careers and what they knew they wanted to do in their careers as well.
A little over 5 minutes to go as Gothrop buries a 3. Morgan Gothrop now with 8. That's her second 3 of the night. The senior averaging 9 per game. Mast with Dillon right in front of her, which has been the case for most of the night, unfortunately for Alexia.
Yeah.
And then maybe gets to stare down the barrels of those 2 out there. Good drive that time by Maybe, but she couldn't find anybody open, and Herbert picks up the loose change. An impressive defensive performance tonight for Fairfield. Good ball movement again. Whitaker. You just don't see Fairfield forcing shots. Here's another open three in the corner. That one knocked down by Gothrop, and she now has 11. 3 Falcons in double figures.
Yeah, they pass up some of their shots. They pass up. You're like, well, they were open, but they pass it up for just a little bit better shots each time.
And that's precisely the drill that he ran yesterday when I came to practice, is making the extra pass to get one more open shot. And this is just like watching practice last night.
Yeah.
Except I think they might be knocking down more today than they did yesterday in practice.
Which is always good when you knock more down in the game.
Maybe's been a warrior out there. She's played every minute of this one. Has to do that a lot. It's not a very deep team for Jeff Burns as he tries to rebuild the program. But as Bo mentioned, they was sectional last year. They lost to Griffith in the regional semifinal. And you never know when some more magic might come. Here's DeLong with a rebound that just wouldn't go. Fairfield, of course, hopes it doesn't come at their expense in February. And you sit there and say, well, how could that happen? They're losing by 42. Westview beat this West Noble team by 26 in the regular season, and West Noble turned around and beat them by 11 on Wednesday night. It's high school basketball. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Fairfield lobs it down low to Hall. She got the bucket and the bump. So Jaislyn Hall, who is also a pretty good softball player here at Fairfield, where they have a solid program, will go back to the foul line. Brody Garber and the ref having a conversation as West Noble will put more of the reserves in. Chloe Sprague, Paige Taylor, and Chloe Ellery check in, and I think Miss Maybe and Miss Mast might be done for the night, as well as Kaylee Jordan. Just 2:33 left in this one with a running clock once the free throw is taken. And a good hustle rebound that time by Worthman. Bunch of reserves in the game. That's Zoe Miller now for Fairfield getting some action. Savannah Cronin. And Cronin throws it away. The steal made by Chloe Sprague. Couldn't control it. And finally, it's picked up by Chloe Ulrey. And Ulrey feeling it. Oh, she couldn't get that three to go like she did at the end of the first half. And a whistle and a foul called on West Noble. It'll go against Jalen Baker. And Fairfield again goes to the bench. Hattie Herbert, the sophomore sister of Ava, a member of the volleyball team, checks in. She wears number 12. Jaislyn Hall is done for the night. One would think it'll be Fairfield and Central Noble tomorrow night. We put those records up earlier. 18-0 for Central Noble going into the night, 16-2 for Fairfield. That game will be played over at Garrett High School, and it's a 6 o'clock tip-off tomorrow night for the NECC Championship.
That'll be a nice neutral site battle between those two teams and going at it, and assuming Central Noble does get to that game.
Paige Taylor called for the foul. Not in the bonus yet. Next foul by the Chargers would put Fairfield to the line, as though that is needed. A three on the way, not made that time by Hattie Herbert, but again, a rebound by Fairfield, and this time the foul is called on Chloe Ulrey, and that should send the Falcons to the foul line, although the clock is still ticking. About 48 seconds left in this one as Macy Worthman goes to the line, and Worthman hits the free throw, and that may be her first varsity point. Macy is a 5'7" freshman. The JV is loaded with 7 freshmen on the team, and Worthman called up tonight with Delana Geiger not playing. Inside, Taylor couldn't get that one to go. The rebound to Herbert, but taken right away by Elena DeLong. Now Sprague has her shot blocked. And Fairfield will try to close out the final 30 seconds of a very impressive performance tonight. Craig, any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, I think the most impressive thing here about this Fairfield team is just how strong these girls are. They're in a stance the entire game. They're moving, they're flying around. They've done a great job with their weight program and their conditioning program. So, and that'll take them a long way.
It took them tonight to a 62-16 win over West Noble. And we will wrap things up quickly by showing you our electrifying play of the game. One of the 5 3-pointers from Bailey Willard tonight.
Yeah, Willard came out hot from the start, and she just did a great job of really sparking this team and really sparking the Falcons last year in the playoff run as well. But here you can see her spotting up, just a great job of just draining that three. She never hesitates when she gets that ball. When she knows she's going to shoot it, she grabs it, she turns, she shoots, and she just does a great job of just staying in form the whole time.
Well beyond the arc was Willard most of the night, and well beyond the ability of West Noble was Fairfield tonight, winning 62-16. Falcons go into the NECC championship game, trying to win it for the first time since Brody Garber's wife, Amy, was a player.
96.
So 62-16 the final. Our thanks to our TV-46 crew who helped bring you this one, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo, and our talented cast of veteran performers. Reminder that we've got college basketball on the radio Saturday. Wisconsin takes on Indiana at 1. And then on Monday afternoon, the Big Ten leaders, Purdue and Michigan State, battle. Both those games on 103.1. Tuesday night, we're in South Bend for boys action. Number 2 Northwood takes on St. Joe. We'll show it to you Wednesday night at 9 and Thursday night at 2. And a reminder to follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, where we post all the scores. Once again, the final. Former Hall of Fame partners, Bo Hunt, Craig Heatherly, Chuck Freeby. The final, Fairfield 62, West Noble 16. So long from the Maple City.